All right. Welcome everyone to today's Fleet Live office hours. Thanks for everyone tuning in. This is not super prepared. This is just, something I do occasionally. And the purpose is to answer technical questions about Fleet, deployment, configuration, code base, anything you're curious about. Occasionally I show the wrong screen. Last time I was talking about my screen, but I was actually showing myself. So please note that if there's something wrong in the chat. Anyway, I might not have all the answers, but I've been at Fleet for over 2.5 years, so I at least can point you in the right directions. And if things are quiet in the chat, then I'll work on some features or bugs or preset agenda. So let's get started. So I do have the agenda here in the top, in the right here. Let me just show Fleet. It's actually trying to re-enroll this Windows host just in case I need it. Let's get started. Windows MDM profiles. So we're talking about deletes, and So on Apple, a profile is, one thing, and inside it contains payloads. So once you delete a profile, Apple just removes all the settings associated with the payloads inside that profile. Apple does have a corner case with certificates, and I'm still looking into that, but occasionally we do see, some, SCEP or Hack Me certificates sitting around that have not been deleted, and we still kind of need to dig into that, but we might need to fix it by sending an explicit delete command for the Apple certificates. But anyway, we're talking about Windows, and Windows happens to be a bit more complex. So just high level, let's just start high level. We're working here on this feature. Let me just open, well, I actually have a video. Let's start with the video. It's only 2 minutes. We're going to be adding a major new feature for Windows device management to match our Apple capabilities, and that is when we remove a profile from Fleet, we will actually remove those settings from the Windows device itself. Explicitly removing them, switching teams, deleting teams, all of that matching our Apple capabilities. So the user story, as an IT admin, I want to remove the Windows configuration profile and to actually stop enforcing deleted settings on the host so that I can make sure that my organization decides to change company policies. Those are same for newly enrolled and already existing hosts. All right, so what does that mean? Let's go here. We have a host. It has this setting, maximum device lock timeout. So if I go to that host, I can run a command to see that setting, and that setting is 10. So now, if I go to controls, OS settings, demo team, and I actually delete this profile, I delete it, I go back to the host, it is pending right now. So to speed this up, I'm going to go do a manual sync over here, jump back here, and the setting is gone. So now I can go here and check, and we see that on the host itself, it returned to its default value. That's the feature in a nutshell. We are updating the documentation a little bit in the custom OS settings, where we're talking about a little bit more about how it's done. So it is best effort. So there are some CSPs that do not support the delete command. So it is best effort. If that means if something fails, then we simply remove it. So that's it for the feature.
Welcome. In this tutorial.
Right. Where's my camera? There we go. I'm back. best effort, meaning that if it fails, if the delete returns an error, we simply ignore it. We might log it, I don't remember. Okay, but that's like the simplistic overview of the feature. Oops. We're gonna be, let's talk about some complexities. Okay, this is the docs I showed. Okay, there was additional docs, but anyway, let's go and take a look at some CSPs we actually have. I'm running Cloud Code here. Let me just clean this up. Apologize for not setting this up. So I need to make this bigger. And let's switch to main. So we are managing our Dogfood from our GitHub repo. So we can take a look at some of the settings that we have, which are in IT and security, lib, Windows, configuration profiles. What do we have here? Anything interesting? Anything interesting? This one's interesting. All right. So here we have multiple CSPs. Multiple CSPs. So when we delete this profile, we need to send a delete for each one of these. Now, I understand, I did mention some of these don't support deletes, but currently we don't really differentiate which ones support and which ones don't. We just send it for all of them. Maybe in the future we'll be smarter and actually have a list of which ones explicitly do not support delete. But we send it for all of them. So two things. We send it for all of them. 3 of them might return success. 3 of them might fail. That's not a big edge case. We just treat it all as a success, and we say this profile is completely removed. Now we do allow people to put atomic around it, meaning that when you apply this whole thing, everything has to succeed or everything has to fail. If any one of these cannot be applied, then none of them are applied. What happens in deletion? Well, as I mentioned before, deletion is best effort, and we know that some will fail. So this means when we delete this, we cannot use atomic, because if a delete fails, then if one delete fails, then all of them fail. So on deletion, we actually don't enforce atomic. So when we delete an atomic profile, we delete each one of these individually. All right, next corner case is kind of use the same example. So is a bad example, but there's some security settings. Let me see, maybe password settings, a good one. Yeah, here we go, minimum password length. So I can have a profile here with the minimum password length, and I can create another profile, let's call it secure XML. And we're gonna actually test it, why not? While we're here. And here I'm gonna say, we're gonna try this. This is, I'm learning as well, and we're having a good time. I'm gonna say this is 11. So I've got password settings. I wonder if it's gonna kick me out. Let's make it smaller. 5 says I have a password length 5 and a password length 8. I've got 2, and we allow you to upload 2 CSPs that both target the same CSP. So is this feature merged? Let's try it. So we got password settings and secure.xml. Let's do it. Let's go to our fleet instance. And, you know, just a warning, we could encounter bugs here. And this host, just double check, is this MDM enrolled? It does say it is. I haven't actually made sure it is, but I'll just hope for the best. All right, those settings. Configuration profiles, interesting. We already have passcode settings. Oh, we can actually see what's going on. Let's delete this. Let's go back to the host, see what it's doing. Okay, I don't think this, man, I don't think this looks like it's working because we got one setting. All right, quick detour. You know, I just enrolled this like as I started this presentation, so I wonder if I can just, well, let's do this. Let's just check it on the host first. You know, it used to be in my dev environment, then I disconnected it at some point and didn't check back. So we're going to device management, connected to fleet, info. Let's see if, let's look at the sync, when it last synced. Last synced today. It looks good. Looks good. Wonder if there's another bug that we have here. I mean, I have Windows Add Account, but if we go to controls, we have secret configuration. Oh, it's macOS. Okay, we're good. Back to the regular scheduled program. So this is in our fleet directory. IT and security, lib, Windows. So again, we're adding password settings and then secure. They have conflicting settings. This one has 8, this one has 5. Let's add secure first. We added secure, and let's just throw in the other one. Let's throw that in. Okay, we added both of them. And I expect both of these to work. And while it's working, well, should we double check that it works? Okay, we are enforcing. Oh, we can speed this up, right? Oh, where is it? Okay, we sped this up. Reload, bam, bam, verified. So we applied 2 profiles that both set the minimum password length. So you might be wondering what happened. Let's ask ChatGPT what happened. I'm cheating here. From PowerShell, how do I view this setting in Windows? Now it says it's thinking mode, instant. Kind of slow. Oh, is there another way to view it from the UI? Wow, it's taking a while. Even though this is instant, I guess it's sorry about that. Okay. Well, while this is happening, let's go back and let's just talk about it. Okay. So that means what happens? We're gonna do the next thing. Man. Okay, I think this is the one I want. This is Sample one. Okay, let's do this one. I have PowerShell up. Wish I could copy and paste here. All right, get item property dash path HKLM software Microsoft policy manager current device lock. Come on, do something. There we go. Well, that did not work. Vendor Microsoft config device lock minimum password length. Current device lock. What am I missing? And again, I'm just making this up as I go along. So I'm missing something. But maybe the CSP is wrong. Policy config device lock. We did apply it. Password length 1, winning provider. All right. Apologize for that. Something wrong with it. If anyone knows, please put it in the chat. But what I want to point out here is that there's this thing called winning provider. Current device. Yeah, sorry. Winning provider. So if multiple CSPs set this value, Microsoft is going to pick one. Security policies like this one, it should be picking the most secure portion, right? So that you can kind of layer your policies on top of it. You can have a base set, and then if you want like to layer more security policies, you add the secure set. But this makes it difficult to delete these CSPs because I've got two. So that means if I delete either one of these, then that setting still has to stay, right? If I delete password setting, we still want to keep this one, which means if I'm deleting password settings, I actually cannot send a delete for this one, because if I send a delete for this one, it'll delete the secure policy. So it means we have to be smart about which ones that we're deleting. So if we're deleting one profile, we have to take a look at all the other profiles and see if they're using that same lock URI value, right? So that adds more complexity. Then you layer on labels, right? When you go and when you add a profile here, you can say, I want it to apply to labels or apply not to labels. So in effect, the profiles themselves could be via labels. They could be scoped to a specific host, right? So imagine that this secure is scoped to specific hosts. So it means if I'm deleting this one, if I'm deleting, password settings, right? Password settings was the one. If I'm deleting that, I should delete it for everyone except the hosts that were scoped to this secure profile. So, the point here is deleting profiles is complex. And I think we handle the most common use cases. I think the one case I want to call out that we don't handle is if you're running GitOps and you're like batch uploading, you're batch uploading some profiles. You're deleting profiles and you're adding new ones, and they're label scoped. So that complexity, in that complexity, we kind of fall. In some corner cases, we fall to a more conservative approach where we don't delete. So that's just something to watch out for. Yeah, certainly, if you're trying this feature that's coming out in 4.8.4, should be should be in like 3 weeks. Yeah, feel free to file a bug and to handle those corner cases. All right, that's all I want to talk about. I think that's enough about Windows profiles. Let's mark that as done. Good thing I'm showing my screen and not myself, like last time. Let's talk about Android certificates for Wi-Fi. Okay, view appearance. Let me think. I have a plan, but I need to edit that plan. It's weird. Oh, what? Sorry. Sorry, I had a Android certificates. Yes. Okay. Okay. All right. All right. So this is a bunch of other stuff I do. I'll get back to it later. It's kind of cool. Let me close all tabs and let's talk about Android certificates. Summary and your recommendation. I'll just open this up. And we do, I'm going to just kick this off in parallel. We're in the process adding retries for Android certificates. Server-side retries. Please adjust your plan. Summary and implementation. Implementation plan to account for that. So there's kind of parallel efforts. Android certificates, we're going to be doing retries. Currently we don't, which is can be a problem if just something bad happens, if like the upstream CA server is down or something. So now we're going to be adding some retries. We also increased the amount of retries for, we're going to be increasing the amount of retries for Apple. So that's going to be also good for these cases where CA is down or something. So I wanted to find the PR for this. Signee at me, so that I could tell it to look at it. Retry 3 times. Make sure I get the right one. This is, got some bug fixes here. I think this is it. There we go. Okay. The incoming code changes are here. All right, so while it's doing that, let's talk about this. All right, Android has this thing called Open Network Configuration. Let's take a look at it together. Configure networks. There we go, configure networks. Policy to configure Wi-Fi networks and device. I thought it also applied to VPN, maybe not. Open network on a policy resource. You can optionally manually prevent user from manually configuring Wi-Fi settings, right? So we're talking about corporate Wi-Fi, right? You connect your Android device. You want to be on corporate Wi-Fi in order to go to corporate websites or use corporate apps or hit corporate API endpoints. We got some specifics here. Okay, so this is Wi-Fi only. This is important. I think I need to tell my cloud code this is Wi-Fi only. I think I was assuming it was others. So it has to be Wi-Fi. And we're about to implement this, so I need to figure out exactly how we're going to do this. Blah, blah, blah. I think what we're interested in is a bunch of settings. What we're interested in is an example. I thought I had an example, sorry. They did a bunch of stuff. Okay. Okay. Because I'm looking for alias. I think this is it. Key pair alias. So we expect client cert type can all be set to a key pair alias. Alias of an installed or generated device policy manager installed key pair installed. I see. So this you could also in the policy specify your actual cert. Hold on. No, you can't. This is yeah. So on the device itself, you call install key pair. Okay, and then you're aliasing it here. Installed or generated. So the reason I'm bringing this up is because we support Android certificates. Let's go back to our guy. Let's go to an Android hosts, and we deployed some certs on it. So we have like cert 7 is deployed. So this is the alias cert 7. So this means we can specify cert 7 here, cert 7, and that cert is going to be used for this guy. I know I'm being a little not as detailed and not as good as explaining things, so I think we have, I thought we had docs for this. Maybe we didn't publish them yet. Let me search our code base. Strange. I thought we had docs for this. Okay, let's I swear we have docs for this. If I search here, read this search. Okay, let me search for this. We have a pull request. Here we go. Okay, so it's not merged. We have a guide for this. It hasn't been merged yet. We can look at it. Configure Wi-Fi on Android. Right, so we're talking about, yeah, same stuff here. Fleet certificate name is here. This is just what I'm talking about. Server CA refs, root CA. Huh. To give it the root CA. Yeah, okay. So that's the root CA of your upstream CA. A certificate for your upstream CA. Yeah, so this is how you do it. So what's the problem? Why am I talking about this? Well, the problem is, in order for this open network configuration to work, this certificate already has to be on the device, right? And why is that a problem? Well, because we have a separate flow for the certificate, right? We have our fleet agent. Where is it? We have our fleet agent, and it's on the Android device, and it's responsible for fetching these certificates, right? But when an employee enrolls into fleet, right, they get this profile. They can get this profile, and at the same time, you know, in parallel, we're trying to fetch that cert, and you know, it could take like 15 minutes to get the cert. So the device could have this profile before it has the cert, and then if that happens, this doesn't exist, so this guy fails. Right? So that's what I want to highlight. So the solution is to actually not push this out until we know the device actually has this cert on it, right? And we have to kind of figure out exactly how we do that. I had validation upload. We withhold the profile. Yeah, I think it's on Surface. In GitOps, when like everything is loaded at once, since everything's loaded at once, we can do validation there. Like make sure, hey, you're like uploading these settings for Android. Does your open network configuration match with the cert that you're requesting? Oh, and then on the server, yeah. So on the server, we know that this guy is somewhere. Either it's pending, or it's installed, or it's failed. So I think if it's pending, then we withhold. We don't actually send this until, you know, the certificate goes into its final state. The final state being installed or failed. Like this, you know, we verified or failed, right? And this was failed, this was verified. So if this failed, so we're going to withhold. We're actually going to withhold the whole profile, right? Not just this section. But if you upload a profile that has this and it has other stuff, we're going to withhold the whole thing. If we see this open network configuration in your profile, and I know the whole Android profile is one big thing, but we let you load it in chunks. So if you look at your chunk and we see this is in your chunk, we're going to withhold it until this guy is on the device. If it failed, what do we do there? Do we automatically fail? Do we send it? I feel like we automatically fail. I think that'd be cleaner. We say we fail because this guy failed, something like that. It's still a work in progress. Yeah, so we're going to be starting building that pretty soon. Okay, so we talked about this. Android certificates for Wi-Fi, things are improving. And we're making good progress. We're fixing bugs. We're adding retries. We're going to be handling this open network configuration corner case. let's talk about reviewing and fixing bugs. So I've been experimenting a lot with AI agents lately. And specifically what I've been trying to do is kind of come up with tasks for AI agents to do while I'm kind of away from my computer. And I've talked to other people, and other people, typically a common thing that they want AI agents to do is to kind of do testing, do QA. It makes sense, like, if you've got a machine that has an AI agent on it, I think there's a schedule command or something. Schedule. Yeah. So this is Cloud Code. So it has a schedule command. So you can schedule. It's like every 2 hours you can make it do something. Yeah, this is great. So like every 2 hours I can tell it, do this analysis. I haven't gotten to that point, but I'm sure I'll come up with stuff. I've just been thinking, like, what kind of things can it do? What's useful? And I'm just kind of trying to get this flow working. So yesterday, just quick and dirty, I came up with like a few things for it to do. Now, granted, it didn't take long to do them. Probably took less than an hour. And ideally, I'd want it to be like multiple hours, to like work for multiple hours. So I get my money's worth, so to speak. But I'll show you what I told it to do. Where's my nightly? Here we go. Nightly plan. Okay. Not sure why this font is so small. I wonder if I can adjust it here. Oh. Does this work? Nope. Let me try to make it bigger. Let's see if it matters. So we're at 125, we go to 150. It's still kind of smallish. Yeah, it's not great. Sorry about that. Maybe it's just better to read it as this. And I've been adding to these tasks because this morning as I was looking at the results, there were some issues. So like I've been like adding extra text to fix the results. All right, let's talk about. Basically, I tell it, hey, do all these tasks. Task 1, find the top 3 hot paths in the codebase. Well, I bet it's going to find the same 3 hot paths every time. Basically, find 3 hot paths and suggest some fixes. It's not bad. It had some issues. It flagged some things that weren't really issues, so I added some caveats here. That's interesting. That's interesting. Yeah, feels like a good use of an AI agent to find and fix hot paths, right? Task 2, I failed at this one. Analyze all open issues and see if this issue is still relevant. Maybe this is too vague. So it basically flagged a bunch of issues that already had fixes merged. So like wasn't very useful. This is why I added this extra exclude from report, blah, blah, blah. Even though I already had this, don't flag duplicates. They have, I had some text about this, but I guess ignored it or thought it didn't apply. So this one was good. I think we're gonna focus on this one. Or maybe we focus on the performance issues. We'll take a quick look at one performance issue I was analyzing, and then we'll get back to bugs. So the thing I don't care about, well, I do care about it, but the thing I don't want flagged are just basic documentation changes, because documentation changes, like publicly facing documentation changes, really need our product team involved. So it's not really a quick fix because it involves coordination. So it feels like it's better for the product team to just do those changes themselves instead of me doing them and then asking them to approve. Feels like me doing it is like an extra step. So I want to add here, do not flag issues that only require a documentation or a copy change. Fine, easy, do not flag, maybe exclude issues that only require a documentation or a copy change. We'll see. I'll run this later, see what it says. OS Core perf implementation. Yeah, it flagged a couple of things that didn't really matter. Tried to find bugs in our code base by inspection. I have not looked at these yet. So I did ask it to find bugs. Find bugs by inspection, find bugs QA test plan, and here's find easy fixes, also maybe bugs. So half of these deal with bugs. Let's go back here. Oh man, I'm not showing my screen. Come on, guys. Anyway, I did a bunch of tasks, and we're gonna look at what it did. So let's look at a performance optimization. Let's see. I had it here. All right, what did I tell it to do? All right. Okay, this doesn't really explain this. Let's see. Explain the issue and the fix as if you're talking to a manager. Okay, so what I did is I took, like, that's one of the fixes. Like, it suggested some optimizations, but it didn't actually try them. So I added for the future for it to actually try those optimizations. I think before proposing blah blah blah, for every proposed go benchmark test. Okay. For every proposed optimization, blah blah blah. Not just SQL, right? Some are not SQL. Okay. All right. The problem, every time a host checks in, we ask the database the same question up to 5 times. Which policies just change status for this host? Which policies just change status for this host? What? When it checks in. 5 parts of the code base, each their own, make a database call. Okay. That's not quite true. Ask the database once, share answer resolve find consumers. Yeah, basically just consolidate 5 data calls into one makes sense, but I'm not sure why. Are you sure we are doing this query every 10 seconds? Why don't we only do it once an hour when the host refreshes its details. I'm kind of skeptical about this. I think I actually need to look at the code changes here. Benchmark test, to kind of understand what it's trying to do. Like, yeah, it proposed this. Distributed query, yeah, like it's not every 10 seconds, it's once an hour. Okay. Well, I'm pretty sure I'm right. Well, let's move on. We got 14 minutes. Let's move on. We got 14 minutes. Let's look at some other bugs that AI found. We want to look at easy fixes. Server padding when updating MDM profile free license, you know. Problem here is like it makes a change, but then like I actually have to validate it, right? Let's go here. Let's go here. Well, this is boring, but sorry. Assisting MDM, bug, security compliance. One, blah, blah, blah. Milestone, gotta fill everything in. Progress looks good. So what was I talking about? I was talking about the Android stuff here. Okay, I've got multiple windows, multiple stuff going on. So clear. Fix this bug. Fix this bug. I need to be in a different branch. Main. So yeah, so the fix is small, but I still need to, you know, there's still kind of this procedural effort, right? Putting the bug in the right state, making a changelog entry, manually verifying it, creating a PR. There's probably some pieces there that can be automated to speed this up. The problem with, you know, this common problem in the industry, people are just like throwing PRs at you. Like this is a PR, like I could just throw it up. Anyone can throw this up, right? This is a legitimate fix. But then, did you actually try it, you know? Fix this bug and run a manual verification with a real server. I want to update this update project. Rebase, everything's good. While it's doing that, let's move on to the next one. Yeah. Okay, this is the one don't quite understand what the issue is. Let's look at it. Linux disk encryption policy should be compatible with Linux. Oh, this is like a front end change. Okay, this is just, we looked at this query and we tell you which query it's compatible with. Looks like the query reference columns, and iterating over mounts. disable SSD and return. So, okay. So yeah, I can try this, right? And I can make the fix and then just go try this query and make sure Linux shows up here. Assisting, deorchestration, blah, 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 deorchestration, security compliance. I said it's a 2. I don't think so, but sure. In progress. So we just go to a fresh session and just tell it to do the fix, and then we'll see if it works. If it doesn't, well, maybe we give it back. Let's just do the following fix. Do the following fix, and then we'll check it later. Meanwhile, let's try to understand what's going on here. SQL converse using table alias. Yes. Parse SQL tables function correctly includes alias names. Seems that column ref. I don't understand. The root cause is that column ref AST nodes in where clauses have a table property set to the alias. These nodes appear under left-right parent keys. So why is it a simple change? Column ref. SQL parser AST uses column ref type nodes for column references. Have a table property containing the alias name. These nodes appear under left-right parent keys. Type check for column ref filters out these false positives. I'm gonna have it. What's it doing? Trying to run the server. Make the fix. Did I copy and paste the wrong thing? Oh no. Oh man, I thought I was talking about this issue. Let's see if it made some fix applied. Okay. Explain why this is supposed to fix the issue. I don't understand. Okay. Fixes in the front end. So I'll read this later. This is the query. Okay, so we'll try this. Let's try this. I'm not really a front end guy, so sometimes things. It'd be nice to have a timestamp here. Did it actually recompile? We're running. We should be live, right? Should take this. And this is policies. This is policies. So we'll go here, policies, add policy. Still doesn't work. Reload. It does work. Shows it's compatible in Mac and Mac and Linux. the bug was, if I can find it. Table mounts, disk encryption mounts. Mounts, macOS Linux, okay. Disk encryption, macOS Linux. Looks good, actually. Sorry, when multiple things are going on, you're jumping back and forth. All right. SQL parser produces AST where from has nodes like table as am and table. Okay. Yes. Where clause has column reference nodes like type column ref. Okay. The table property here holds the alias am. Okay. Okay. Let me look where the diff is. Okay, so we're just like ignoring them. Okay, so this is the fix. Okay. Okay, so we're just skipping. Cool. Add a changelog entry to changes directory, and then we'll check in this fix. New branch, Victor 4117, fix SQL table alias, blah, blah, blah. Changes, check this in, fix the bug where SQL using table incorrectly ported no compiled platforms. Okay. Fix skips. Sounds good. Commit and push, and that's how we roll. I'll make changes. Reflex, and then we do this. Resolves 40117. There we go. We didn't manually test it. That. We did this. Nothing else is relevant. Can't delete all at once. And we got 1 minute left. Draft pull request. Everything's linked. Then we just run checks. Copilot. Sorry, CodeRabbit. Man. And if we look at my board, so yeah, so it is in progress. Cool. That's it for today. Thanks everyone who checked in. Have a great rest of the week. Next time I'll be out because we got an offsite. Everyone's coming together, so I'll be back in about 4 weeks. Should be back in about 4 weeks. Thanks, everyone.